They call it music. 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 They call it.
Welcome to Double Rock. This is another special edition of a rock hall session that he ain't got no time to play with here in the land of Double Rock living. I do that.
Everything good, you know. It's always good to be in the land of the Double Rock living. That's how you say it, right?
Rock the session.
I listened this morning.
Yeah. Right. I hope you get all your judgment notices this morning.
What you think I waking up right now?
You ready to come? I'll be slunking this morning.
As we speak, I'm working on the announcements. Alrighty, you ready?
Yeah, we're in the thing, bro.
Alrighty. Genesis, the Warhawks will be having their first practice on September 25th at Porterski Dock.
Brand new change.
Please note the change. It starts one lap only at 9:30. That's be interesting. Wouldn't it be good if we just have one location for practices and we just could capitalize on our one location? Anyway, you
gotta stay on track, boss.
Roots practice is on Wednesday at Fort Charlotte, 8 p.m. start. You know, everybody know Roots in the morning. Volley Boys practices at Central Park, better known as, or should be known as Canon Dudley Strawn Park. That also starts roughly between 8 and 9 or 10, depending on how they feel. And that's about it for announcements for me. I don't know if you have any other announcements. You got these people that can announce themselves?
No, but I see more announcements, my boy.
Like what?
Genesis having boat cruise.
Yeah, they say that's a save the date. I announced that last week. Tell them to give me a date. I can't announce save the date again.
Yeah, you got it. Mark to save that. How you think is keeping things in people's mind, boss?
Big man.
Hold on, man. So
I need a date.
You bringing Junkanoo,
I saving a date though.
No, man. You bringing Junkanoo.
Genesis is having their third annual boat cruise. Save the date. On board the same ceiling. We don't know when it is. So there you go. Feel better now?
Wait,
You feel better now?
I see Roots having a fundraiser too, dog.
I know what Roots fundraiser.
By the Judgment Rooftop Lounge coming up, boss. I tell you ain't get your notice them together, boss. See that? I trying to give you notice. Roots having a mix and mingle.
Last week I get in trouble because you
Roots had a mix and mingle coming up on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Choreograph or something going on, boss. Man, you gotta have your notice together. You can't be slipping, dog.
I think I can give you the notice this time.
No, man, that's your job, but I just trying to help you out.
Alright.
You know what I mean? So make sure I peep that up.
Okay.
Come here, step
also this week, everybody's supposed to get the seed money, so everybody's supposed to be happy. Really donkey.
Yeah. Everybody?
What donkey? What?
Everybody?
What, 20 cents?
What do you call it? Everybody?
Everybody still getting seed money? I thought there was some disqualifications.
No, everybody.
Keep focused, John.
You and those groups we thought we got disqualified, they got seed money too.
Okay.
How much money they get?
I can't give much money they get.
30,000. Everybody?
Yeah.
Wow.
Eight groups.
Very good.
30,000.
We have 8 groups? We have 8 groups?
I believe that's plenty money.
No, it ain't enough.
8 division
only
groups.
one ship.
8 or 8 division?
8 division.
Okay.
8 division.
Well, $30,000 only can get your banner, and probably one lead on the road by nothing else.
Wasn't that more than they gave last year?
Okay.
Soldier
It's an
man.
improvement, but it's still not enough.
Still ain't
Yeah,
enough.
but
Ain't enough.
you be thankful anyway.
I man thankful boss because they cheating, they robbing Junkanoo man.
We being appreciative, but we ain't.
I want people to believe that's a joke, but you see when we start to settle for a little pocket change, that's why they can keep giving us that. They can't be settling for them little bit of money, man. If you want Junkanoo be the way it needs to be, pump the bob.
Indeed.
Anyway, finish run your thing before I take over your little announcement segment, yeah?
A little announcement. I like how you put that. Okay. The Roots girls, Roots choreograph section.
Ah, plenty news,
Mix
man.
and Mingle choreograph edition. Boy, this is a light color. Hold on. Big man, can I see it? September 28th, that's next week. That'll be next weekend. Music by DJ Turbulence, who we all know, DJ Tank. Oh, here we go. Correct. Now it works. Now, here we go. Calling all Junkanoos and friends and fans of Junkanoo. Mix and Mingle choreograph section from Roots. Having a function at the Rooftop Lounge Friday the 9th. Friday 28th of September. Admission is $10 in advance. Ladies 10, guys 15. After a certain time, of course. Doors open at 8 p.m. and they're asking everybody to come out and support them. I think I will actually go and do that. Sounds like a plan. And I have one more announcement before I go. Should be 3090, you know, gents.
Oh yeah. I just remember.
So
You had the flyer lineup.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that right now. And they're having a function for him, and I hope all Junkanoos come out and support. Cause trust me, just the mere fact this man turning 90, and just the mere fact this man is a Junkanoo, and just the mere fact that he is who he is.
Yeah.
All those milestones.
Definitely.
Let's produce you over on your phone real quick, cause I can't find it right now.
I tell you, boy, you be falling up, boss.
Big man,
Me coming on the nose choking, boss.
Boy,
You gotta be running.
Playing things happening this weekend, man. Playing things happening.
You know what I mean? You come here with one little piece of nose and I gotta bail you out.
That's what you here for.
You know what I mean?
But back up.
What you looking for, man?
Looking for the chippy.
Wait for the chippy flyer.
Don't worry about it. We run that. We can run that to the end. We can run that in the second
All right,
segment.
well,
Until we find out. Now you finish run what you gotta run now.
I done with the boat cruise for Genesis. Pardon me. Genesis boat cruise. They have a date. Saturday,
Oh.
October 20th,
Hey.
2018, on board the Sea Link.
He
And they
get the
say
memo.
more to be announced. So
You didn't get the memo.
with more information to be announced, still save the date. They have a time and they have a date. So, and tickets will be on sale September 18th. So that's from here on in, and that's pretty much it. We got another announcement. Stay tuned. Sign Dollar Studio coming soon. Sign Dollar Designs. Yeah, that's a plug for our next guest. Okay, moving right along. Now, okay. Until I find Chippy, that's me. Now, without further ado, we'd like to introduce you to our show segment of today. I'd like to introduce you to two members of the Valley Boys. We have
King John.
King John, and we have
Brown.
Brown,
Let's go with Brown.
otherwise known as
D. Leslie Brown.
D. Leslie Brown, otherwise known as.
Man,
You not so much. Anyway.
Judge
you
Joe
gotta talk.
Brown.
Justice.
There we go. So, gents, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We'd like to have you here on a longer version, but you're here for one purpose, and so dive right in and let us know exactly what that is and what's going on.
All right, we're here to promote one of the Valley Boys' 60th anniversary functions, which is our boat cruise. Is happening September 29th, Saturday, September 29th.
Yeah, people know that's just Saturday, man.
Yeah,
People,
this Saturday.
When you
Sorry.
start calling dates, people just get mixed up.
They
Tell
get
them
mixed up.
Just Saturday.
Saturday coming.
Yeah.
Aboard the Sea Link,
Yeah, man.
we going cruising. All right. It's
Cruise
been
ship.
big enough. It's close enough.
Closest thing we could get to a cruise ship.
Closest thing we could get. Like you said, we're aboard the Sea Link. It's going to be really good. Ticket sales are going very, very, very well. That's internally and externally. You know, we want people to come out. We want Valley fans to come out. We want other jungle groups to come out. Don't matter if you've been disqualified or you only had one lead. You know, we celebrating everybody. The Valley Boys are 60. You know, we want everybody to be there. Even those persons who, you know, the Valley may have said can't be in our group no more or anything like that. You know, we want you to come out too, because you've been there before. I'll let Brown get a little deeper into the specifics of the boat cruise, ticket prices, and everything that's going to be available on the cruise.
Okay, great. As King John intimated just a while ago, we have a VIP section and we have a general section. I know in Junkanoo we got a lot of big timers, and so we welcome those big timers with their monies. It's $50 at the door, and the VIP section is all inclusive. Actually, we have a cocktail situation going on in the VIP section. You really feel special with this VIP section. All inclusive, cocktail, free drinks, free food. I even want to say that this VIP section is air conditioned, and you don't get that. And this is why we say this is the closest thing to a boat cruise. You cruising on the boat on the high seas, and you're in air conditioned, you're eating and you're drinking, and you feel like the best Junkanoo in the world. Not to be diminished, the general section, $25 entry at the boat, $20 in advance. Drink specials all night, food availability, food vendors. We got the livest DJ for the night, DJ Reds. We have an awesome setup we're looking to do on the boat itself. Can't give away too much of that because we want it to be really a jaw dropper there that evening. We have the little photo booth setup going on, so dress to impress. It's really to commemorate, as you guys know, the Valley Boys' 60th anniversary. It's one of those events. We've already had the Fun One Walk, we've already done the church service, we've already done the basketball tournament, and now we're here at the boat cruise. And it's not limited to the Valley Boys, it's limited to, it's open to their fans, supporters, arch nemesis, opponents, groups we're thinking about forming, groups within.
Form yet? Groups that should stop. All
Groups
of you.
that ain't reach basically. It's all inclusive, and so the Valley Boys is really opening its tent in a real and meaningful way with this boat cruise.
Even and on the boat cruise as well, for persons like myself, and I don't want to call any names for specific people,
Just call
for
one
persons
more
like
name,
Tavio and Jesse, persons like them. We have a special short area for all the short lovers out there. So you just like shots, you don't drink, but you like to take shots at the same time, you'll have that area. Remember, you have the VIP section. It's $40 in advance. All you could drink, all you could eat, while supplies last. We know y'all hungry.
Will there be any entertainment in this VIP section?
That's the plan. Like Brown said, we don't want to give away too much information, but there will be some special guests passing through, some local Bahamian artists who love the Valley Boys and who love them.
Sounds good. Time the boat leaves.
The boat is scheduled to leave, I think, at 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
On
9 o'clock.
On 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 to
Listen to
the-
me, folks. The
Not-
boat
not
is
coming
leaving
back
at
to
9
nobody's
9
specific-
o'clock. No.
Okay, all right.
Ticket sales are going good. A lot of persons are interested. You must be on time.
That's
or
9.
you
That's
will
not
watch,
9 o'clock Bahamian time.
You will watch the boat leave.
Okay.
I guarantee you.
My next question is ticket location. You said pre-ticket locations tickets are $20 in advance, and for VIP it's $40 in advance. So it's
Yes.
better to buy tickets in advance.
It's better to buy it in
So
advance.
where can they purchase their tickets in advance?
Well, ticket locations are one of the places is primarily where we are now. Yes,
Yes, indeed.
You can also contact
VIP
myself.
tickets as well.
VIP tickets as
Yes.
well.
Okay.
Yes.
I have an open door policy, 24 hours. You can get on the phone, give me a call. I don't sleep until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Hold on.
Yeah, man. The government
And
work
then
keeps
they
me
call you
busy,
3
you know.
o'clock in the morning, tell you they want me. I just want to know, boss.
Well,
I just want to make
you
sure.
gotta come to
And
the
you
come
can
to the negotiation table.
You can also retrieve tickets from myself. Everybody knows how to reach me. If you can't reach me, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Johnny Will, or you can speak to any Valley Boy who will be able to contact me. Boobas also has tickets. Everybody knows how to reach him. And like Brown said, you can reach him, or you can come down here to Gas Up. Everybody knows Aldika from the Valley Brass. She also has tickets made available. And once you get the word out that you need tickets, we can even find you. So
I can get
open.
line up outside judgment now and get line up through social media. I can get line up through social media.
Most definitely.
Yeah. The Valley Boys has a page
Yes.
specifically for the boat codes.
What name?
And we also have an Instagram page, Valley PR, Valley Boys PR. You search it, log on.
Valley PR Instagram?
Yes, right on
Alright,
Instagram.
All right.
And then we have all our internal WhatsApp groups and
Me
everything.
yet? What's going on?
Our PR specialist, I'm sure, is listening and watching. So once you send those requests in,
A night with the Valley.
A night with the
Ah,
Valley.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, send the request. I'm sure it will be accepted. Kish, accept Papa, please.
It's a petty, you know,
But I think she could tell it from the picture, man.
I like it who they follow and who they follow. And then, I come to Instagram, I gonna talk with things.
Alright.
So
But we want to
I get on the page, sit for a little while, and then stoop. Let's see which followers y'all get, then I get back to y'all.
But we also want to reiterate that it's not only open to the Valley Boys. Saxons, Roots,
And we
Colors,
encouraging all
everybody. We
groups
want
to come
everybody.
together
We want
because,
everybody to come up because we're
like-
all Junkanoos.
Right.
Like all
We celebrate the
events.
right.
And like
Exactly.
our show, we encourage everybody to come out and support one another.
Yeah, man, that's how you make the boy go round.
Indeed.
Yes.
Because like our learned friend told us over there, $30,000 from the government and probably another $60 from
Mm-hmm.
the sponsors. I ain't gonna make it. You gotta be self-sufficient. And this is we try and tell our friends and who say they don't have no sponsor. Work towards where you can help yourself, and then others will come and help. Trust me, it works. I remember, I keep saying this on the show. I remember a particular individual used to sell $8 steaks. Now he's one of the most powerful men in this country. I say no more.
Indeed.
Well, gentlemen, any closing words before we?
We just want to remind persons that this is not the last event for our 60th anniversary. We are also planning an upcoming softball tournament. We're probably going to call that, as it stands right now, the Ford Classic, in honor of the Eddie Ford.
So this can be for outsiders or just about.
No, it's internal, but we want persons to
as much people involved as possible.
yeah.
So
but-
what type of date we looking at? 'Cause this is
we looking
jungle
with
season.
they're trying to plan the softball tournament for November. We're also trying to plan
That's that's
in 2018 groups have been started from May and February, so you have the luxury of being on time.
I've been out of the front line of Junkanoo in the trenches of Junkanoo for a while, so I'm totally lost. I still used to start in September.
So you say you get softball.
Softball tournament. We also have a volleyball that's in the works as well. We'll have more details on all of that coming out shortly.
I like the sound of the softball tournament. We can talk more about those type of things later. But I encourage you guys to be encouraged. We want to support you. At least I'm going to try and make it. Talk about it. He can't make it. So private engagement. That's fine.
Also remember that dancer lives matter.
Always do.
Very important.
Always have, always.
Just as.
Before we go.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Explain, please. Why? What is dancer lives matter and why do they matter? Please.
Just
Help me.
as Top Class said here, $30,000 is not enough to push a group onto Bay Street. The dancer category, for a long time, we've been saying is not funded enough. It's an individual category, so it's not always supported by the group that you're in. What we've been trying to do is to get more categories in the dancer frame. We don't want to be limited to only 3 categories. We don't want to only be free dancer, off the shoulder, or step down.
Saturday there's only 2 categories.
Exactly. But we want more, and we feel as though that the prize money can be more and should be more.
Give me an example of how you would splice up the dancer category.
I'll give you an easy example.
Easy example.
Let's take free dancers.
Okay.
Free dancer. That's
anybody who naked.
right.
That's not a naked dancer.
But-
is a naked dancer a free dancer?
There's no such thing as a naked dancer. Exactly.
Okay.
So here's my point.
All right.
You have. I'll use Jesse as I always use.
Well, you always gonna say this.
We use Jesse, and I'll use myself. The free dancer has no height requirement.
Right. No limitation.
No limitation. So my costumes are usually kind of jumper style, as Junkanoos know it.
Your costumes are more creative than anything else.
Jesse is more naked.
Yeah.
All right, she may have just a small backdrop.
She don't use
So
more cloth than she uses.
right.
fringe.
So technically, it's unfair that I have to compete against her because she's always going to dance better than me.
Because she
And
has
technically, it's unfair that she compete against me because I have more opportunity to look better than her because I have more costuming to showcase. So I'm feeling there should be a naked dancer category, which is either
Basically
either 3 feet and below or 0 feet off the shoulder, and then we call that naked dance. We take the free dancer and we say no higher than 5 feet off the shoulder, maybe. Then you take, or 4 feet. Then we take off the shoulder as it is and say 4 feet and up, or 5 feet and up, wherever the line ends for free dancer.
Requires a shoulder piece, skirt.
Right, but you have to be a certain height.
Yeah, but you also have to specify what you want inside.
Yeah,
that.
the regular requirements for off the
Because-
shoulder now,
Yeah.
but we just take the height just up a little bit.
Okay, so we basically basing
You see.
these categories on size.
Yeah,
The size of the costume.
yeah, size and
Not
also
on
ability to
not-
perform
not-
and ability.
Not on gender.
No,
So it's the female.
I wouldn't put it on-
so
I
we
wouldn't
should
put it
have-
on
so we
gender.
should have a free dance female and a free dance male. I mean, if you want to expand,
I think
you want
I
really
think
big
I think you
chances
I
of
think you
matter,
I think you can.
I think you should.
I think you should.
I
Too.
think you should too.
Yeah, that would be
Okay,
that's actually an awesome
but
idea.
Add that to your list. Eh?
That's an awesome idea.
Okay.
That's an awesome idea. But again, you need the funding, you need the prizes, which I think should be easy because I've actually put this.
Easy, boss. Like, so they gave you $30,000 now. What you
No,
want it easy,
but
boss?
my point is this. There was one point in Junkanoo, and I can't remember if it is as it is. The free dancer category was sponsored. So there's one point where there was the Chelsea's Choice free dancer category. Then there was the Aquapure off the shoulder category. So there's no reason why we can't get private sponsors
I see where
to
you're
take it off the government,
Yeah.
take it off their shoulders and say, we need you to sponsor this first, second, and third prize
Exactly.
and take it up. And I'm pretty sure the dancers would be more than appreciative of that fact.
And I think it'll enhance the parade because the dancers really don't have no incentive to do nothing. I didn't come down and show off a costume on 2 years ago.
exactly.
Side to side. I'm
Exactly.
sure our next guest will disagree with me, but we can get to that in a minute. But hey, we want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting us know what Dance Alliance
Thank you
is
for
about.
having
us.
And we don't normally, actually, I would say we don't normally do this. We want to invite you back and specifically
Okay.
to talk about dances because we can get to dances shows. And we want to talk to you also about finances and a little bit about this whole this WAT thing. You know what I mean?
That's no
Let's
problem.
segue into that.
No problem.
A little bit of that. So,
Aye,
Council,
Ron,
My lord.
that's what I know you are. You give me your other name. I was waiting there for council. You know, judge this and all that.
I don't want to put it on. I don't want to put it on myself. You gotta
Anyway, appreciate you, gentlemen, and
oh yeah.
want to invite you back. Well, actually, we want to invite both of you back at a future date. But
Always more than welcome.
So don't forget the Volley Boys date time.
Top class.
Saturday the 29th. Saturday coming.
I thought last week.
Saturday coming.
Saturday coming
Date,
aboard
9 o'clock. Be there before 9 because the boat.
before 9. The boat will leave you.
International
I
time.
know what? By push there by 7:30, because when the traffic back up through there by Porter Sea Dock and thing.
You could get
You
late.
could get late.
You could get
Pressure,
late.
boy. You know what I mean? You all know how to get to the
Shout out to the Valley. Shout out to Backyard Shack. All the front line. Shout out to the King Shack. I know you wasn't expect me to say that, right? Shout out to the King Shack. Much respect to y'all. Shout out to my boy Tavio and the Saxons, Jesse and Roots, all my other good friends. I love you all.
Tropical.
Oh, we still have a carnival up here too?
Yeah.
You got to pick up.
We got it. Oh, okay. All right.
You can catch us on the road with these.
I think
it's today too.
Yes, you can find us today on the road.
I'm headed down
Purchase
to-
boat cruise tickets.
To Fat.
Yeah, we got you. We
I
got you
headed down
sorted
to
out.
Fat, so
So you can go down by the Fed and you can get your Wally
Location.
You got to actually park by Anatole Rogers. The location has not been revealed. When you park by
Tropicula.
Tropicula, you park by Anatole Rogers, and they will bus you to the
Tropicula
location.
Fat. So
Alright.
we fatting today and cruising.
Come find me
Saturday.
now. If you find me and I look like I dancing on Bay, don't bother me. Come get your ticket on Monday.
You selling ticket or you partying?
I don't know.
I
Too.
walk in with my ticket.
Get it right, boss.
I got my ticket on me now.
All right, thank you all for
Indeed.
passing through.
Thank you,
We
guys.
catch you all up on a later date.
Yes.
Yeah,
On
man.
the current.
Yeah, man.
We
Much
getting
respect.
ready to slaughter our next army and guest today. Current on Valley Eagle the Kings.
Indeed.
$1 what? Production thing.
Indeed.
All right. We can introduce yourself, but hey, you want to try to get it right. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Don't mind, we're coming here this day at NFL team, uniform on.
Oh, shout out to the Broncos. I hope we winning.
Hey, get out of here, man. That's a Ram segment. You know what I mean? You get our men guessing today.
sure I'm 9-0.
There you go. Hey, but don't talk no more now. Show get out of here. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Way back.
part 2 of our show. We never go nowhere. Part 2 of our show.
7 Danny.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce everybody to Jamal Shea. He's here to talk about Sound Dollar.
Design Studios.
Sound Dollar Design Studios.
Right.
And
Sound Dollar Design Studios.
the Valley of the Kings too.
Well, I mean, we'll elaborate a little more on the Valley of the Kings in a few.
All right. Now, you know, we don't really start our show. Just let us know exactly. We want to know who you is, where you come from, how you get here.
Well,
you know what I mean?
like you said, my name is Jamal Shea.
Wait, hold on, but you come here to represent Sound Dollar and represent for now. That's supposed to be a Sound Dollar production.
Don't worry about that. Right? So my name is Jamal Shea, better known as China. My first time on Bay Street, actually, I went with Fun Time with, y'all talk about JR. JR was my neighbor, so his father, Glenn Burnside Sr., took me on Bay Street the first time, Fun Time. Yes, I took the banner that morning, me and JR, you know, so that's how I remember you, Danny, from there.
I don't even know that's a Fun Time.
What?
Fun
Fun Time was, you really had,
Time used to go to Bay Street for music.
I think that morning we rushed. I think we did some clown costumes that morning. It was really fun. Yeah, man. I think yes. So it was really a fun time. And then I made my way to the Valley Boys, which I was a fan of from growing up. I was fortunate to be around some good Junkanooers in the Valley Boys. Like Paparazzi, remember that morning you couldn't make it? The costume was heavy, boy. I remember that.
Jamal carried my costume in jeans.
Yeah, that was
2 laps, eh?
when we did the Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
The Wild Wild West.
But before that, that's before you went to Colors?
Yes.
This man had a passion for Junkanoo.
Yes.
And I have a little testimony to make too. And I fell down. We all fell down in our particular shot. We were so involved in what we were doing. This man was involved. He wanted to get in Junkanoo so bad. And nobody at the time actually teach him or help him to get to where he wanted to go. So he had to actually step outside the Valley Boys box or step outside our particular friendship box or our particular friendship shop and go to Colors.
Well, no. Some things happened
Well, okay,
before
let-
that.
let- let
So
my own
right.
story.
So
Right?
yeah.
I want to interject that because
Right.
I remember him and passion for Junkanoo.
Yeah.
Passion for Junkanoo. But we didn't have the time.
No, definitely
and-
not. And I had family members a part of that shop. You remember that?
Exactly. I just want to say this. Take the time out. When you find somebody who has the passion, who wants to be a part of Junkanoo, all us, everybody in Junkanoo, just take the time out, 5, 10, 15 minutes. You'll be surprised to know what you get. Look what we got there.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that you stepped outside and did what you had to do to get where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
And it came full circle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's amazing. I mean, you could easily, like Ruben said, when Gus didn't give him a ride home.
Yeah.
That was the end of his
That was
Valley
his
Boy
best
career.
one, yeah.
And people don't realize how significant those same little small things happen. And I want to apologize for me. I want to apologize. But guess what? If that didn't happen, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Good.
I
So,
agree.
carry
So,
on.
right,
I don't feel
so,
like talking
no, you good, man. So, after joining the Valley Boys, I had the fortune of working with Jermaine and what's his brother's name? Zani.
Zani.
Right. One world, one
Smart
people.
brothers.
One world, one people.
Right.
I could always remember that we was in Zani's house, in his room, pacing, standing up pacing. I was like, wait, you don't supposed to stand up and pace? Standing up pacing, and like he told me, boss, in order for you to get a costume, you gotta work. You know, it wasn't just come, give you a costume and call it a day. And then later on, I had a friend who I grew up in primary school with, Tavares Strawn, who is a world-renowned artist now, and he invited me to join Roots. And me, him, and his brother, we rushed alongside, right in the front of Les, who was the leader at that time of Roots. Later on, obviously, Colors started about, went to Colors, and I was off in university, so Colors was a better fit for me. Didn't have to worry about coming home and having to go and worry about no big costume. You know, you come in your little cloth skirt, and I became a free dancer. I was always in the dancer category then. Came back to the Valley Boys. My good friend Marco Mullins, who apologized for not being here today. We went to the Valley Boys when I came back from university, and we started working together again. I started carrying costume. From there, like I said, Gus always used to say, you know, if EC person's working and he don't have a problem with you advancing, or so to say. So after coming from the dancer line, I wanted to help with building, learning how to build and so forth. So I sacrificed my little so-called thinking dancing career to go into the Bella line, where I could carry a two-piece and also help with building, learn how to build. Thanks to Marco Mullins and Pats, Jason Minnis, who was my brother-in-law.
Who's now your brother-in-law?
He wasn't my brother-in-law then, right?
No.
So who was
So
my?
you like the hookup?
No, I don't hook up. He just one morning after Junkanoo, I just see him and I was like, wait, what you doing here? You know, and the thing about it is, we never was Junkanoo friends. He was in Roots, I was in Roots, but I was in a different shack, and that's one of the things that I learned with Junkanoo. Junkanoo separates people, but also bring people together, because, you know, we being in the same group, we still was against each other in some way, and then, like I said, he became my brother-in-law. We had have a shack called the Kings, like John said earlier, those who aren't a part or was a part, I'm one of those, all right? And yeah, I will say how I feel, you know, I'm glad to be here. Valley of the Kings, as everybody know, has been a shack that produce. We don't just talk this, we do this. And our slogan is put it in the road. And the Kings grew over the years, producing lead costumes, dancers, free dancers, designing bellas, backline, etc. And we've had some success over the years. Lead costume winning numerous Boxing Day and New Year's when we teamed up also with Golden Fire. And then our dancer line, we had guys who were very consistent, hitting the board. We had persons like a Meanie, a Ian, a Smiley, a DJ, a Hulk, and the list goes on. Dom, Tito, everybody hitting the board on a consistent basis. And so a few years ago, we decided that we were going to move, and we had our own building. You know, so
you moved away from traditional Valley Boy shop to
right,
your own personal shop.
right, where we own our own building, own our own property, and so in the last 2 years, persons have been asking us to do a little work here and there. We've been working on carnival costumes, and see, when we talk about the Kings is a family. It's not just a Junkanoo shack. We believe that, you know, and this might sound, you know, those how people fix things up. We don't believe in winning on Bay Street. It's about winning inside. And so we teach people about balance in life. When you be around Junkanoos only about themselves. About, boy, when you could do my costume, when you could finish this, when you could finish that, and not knowing that, listen, bro, you have a life, I have a life. Respect my life, I respect your life. So we had to let people understand that there's balance in life. Junkanoo can't be your only claim of fame. All right? So it's about competing, making sure that the whole man is complete. And so we and you smile. I know why you smile. You know, you're my good brother. It's about completing the whole man. And you know, I'm a person, I believe in a lot of doing other things other than Junkanoo. We have persons, lawyers. We have, when you look at Marco Mullins, Marco is an artist. He's a teacher. He's a sportsman. When you look at Bats is not just a builder. Bats is a businessman. He is a computer man. He is a family man. And when you look at persons like a Reds, successful persons, we're not just Junkanooers.
But I'm glad you mentioned that. And here's the interesting thing. That's Junkanoo across the board.
Agreed.
People, you know, a lot of people from time immemorial, Junkanoo has gotten a bad rap from the days of the violence on Bay Street when they used to fight against each other. That's changed.
Mm-hmm.
So much has changed with Junkanoo, and that's why we invited you on the show, because you're bringing a new change in Junkanoo. And that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, and see, and I say that because I said the whole thing about we're not just Junkanoos, because people think that Sand Dollar Design Studios is just producing Junkanoo costumes, and I saw you frequent our page, and so we've done everything outside of Junkanoo, to be honest with you.
Because, and that's one thing me and Danny always talk about our show. People don't realize that the Junkanoo is so much. We always mention the fact that that's when we have the most joy. That's
Yes.
the time in the shack is
Yes.
when we enjoy it most.
Yep.
The part we don't enjoy as much as the getting to Bay Street. And sometimes, in some cases, you don't even actually enjoy the experience on Bay Street.
Yeah.
Doyle Burrows.
Don't come to
prime
Bay
example,
Street.
Doesn't come to Bay Street because
Yeah.
he can't take the argument and
Yes.
arguing
Agreed.
over who's the best.
Agreed.
And we beyond who's the best now.
Agreed.
We putting on a product.
Agreed.
We all pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah. I
We
I
are
agree.
in transition.
And I go back to, I've heard some negative things about not Sand Dollar, but Kings, right? And I would say this, I remember both of you when you first started your shooting Junkanoo, you also taking photos, how you would have been sometimes pushed away when you walk in between another group to take photos, when people did not understand what you were doing, or you, because you were, especially Danny, because with you, you stepped away from Junkanoo for a while, but Danny still is active in Junkanoo. So it was, I guess, a transition for persons, because as you know, Junkanoo's tribal, tribal, and we don't.
What you doing online? You come to coffee or come to tea?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing that too.
Yeah, and so I think that Junkanoo, we talk about the funding of Junkanoo, and when we look at Carnival getting $10 million or this amount of $1 million in this, and we getting the $30,000. Actually, 117 Junkanoo groups that they said that they distributed funds to.
And how much was the total?
$648,000. $648,000.
Just a little bit over 500, which is half of what? Not even half. That's
Yes.
half of $1 million.
Yes.
Not even.
Yes.
That's like a tenth of what Carnival got.
Right.
Okay. Let's make sure.
And then I also listened to Danny when Danny said last week that he's getting tired and weary of Junkanoo. And when I could hear Gino on Facebook saying that this is his last year, in the last 10 years, I wouldn't even go further back. In the last 10 years, how much builders have we
Tired.
not even retired, but how much builders have grown out of the ashes and come to say that step up now? How much new builders are in the last 10 years? Those builders who you see building today,
Probably 5 or 10.
those
the last
builders
10
you
years.
see today were building 5-10 years ago. They just might have not been successful, or persons might have known them like that because they didn't hit the board, but they've been building for the last 10 years.
And I think we've lost more builders in the last 10 years than we've gained in the last 10
Yes.
years. 'Cause I've known personally some builders who stepped away, and they stepped away gracefully. They're just doing a little small something for personal family
Right.
members or
I-
for a personal
I'll
family
give you a
member.
prime
That's it.
example. We call him the old man, Peter Gold Turnquest.
Yeah.
He is one of the reasons why we are where we are today. Because if it wasn't for Peter Gold taught Bats, he taught Marco, and then they were able to teach other persons. So it trickled down. You see what I'm saying? So we have persons like a Frank, like a Andrew, like a Louis, who's there, could build now. And all they need is just a guidance.
Danny's a prime example. of that.
Yeah. And so
And that's how you learn how to build. You don't
Right.
have to be. Cooper teach everybody. You have to be a skilled
Right.
drawer to
Right.
be a builder.
right. Agreed.
Couple weaknesses is drawing.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
can put a costume together.
Yes. Yes.
And not to take away, because then we started to get a little sidetracked from exactly. We still want you to tell us exactly what it is that Sand Dollar Design is and what they want to.
Well,
portray or
I-
let the world know that they are.
I heard you last week. I think I said you was in you were part of our blueprint. Sand Dollar Design Studios is a art company, produce everything art, from backdrops to we even doing grills. We making grills. Anything with welding, we doing. We just had a customer that wanted rails for his balcony. We're working with now because all these things we were taught in Junkanoo, how to weld, how to make sure stuff are level. So those things. So we're not just Junkanoo, you know. We're offering services to anybody who wants stuff that art.
Okay, let's get to the nitty gritty.
Uh-huh.
I'm rushing for paparazzis,
Yes, sir.
and I need a costume design.
Sand Dollar Design is your company.
All right then. I ain't saying no more. You need some information, some
Well,
name, contact.
we're gonna be
email
launching
address.
our Facebook page very soon. At this present time,
All open to every and any group.
every and any group who's willing to hire us.
I see where the controversy now comes in.
Why is that
With
so?
Your private group.
Why
Because
is that?
you opening a company
Uh-huh.
and you're opening yourself up to everybody.
Okay.
And I would feel like, hey man, you ain't giving my personal attention no more.
See,
you don't love me no
see,
more.
see, you're a businessman.
I am.
So if I hire you to take some photos, because I am a member of a different group, you're gonna take the photos different than you would take. Okay. So it's called.
I'm gonna give you the same. I'm gonna
Thank-
try. I'm gonna try
See?
to pass what I do for my regular
see,
company, my regular.
but this
person
is where-
because I want to.
This is where the tribalism comes in play now.
Okay.
It's called professionalism. If you can't be professional in your doings, then why start a business? It's about being above ground with everybody, honest, outright, so forth. This has been going on in Junkanoo over the last 30 years.
Bang! I say no more.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Sand Dollar Designs decided to do it the proper way. If I fall under the purview of a group, I will go to my group and explain to my group, what am I doing? But I'm still doing work for you, no charge. This because I am a part of this group. Okay? Now it's up to the group to decide what they decided. And they decided no. However, we continue our business. This is beyond Junkanoo. And I just said, we're seeing persons retired in Junkanoo, persons don't want to build no more. So are we going to let our craft die because we want to be tribal?
You guys are just filling a void. I don't want to speak to your Chinese heritage, right? That's what China does. There's a corner in the world.
We
they
fill
it,
that void.
And they fill the void. And then when they fill the void and say, okay, I need to get paid, everybody like, huh?
Yeah.
No. We filled the void.
Yeah.
You had a problem. We fixed it. Now
Yeah.
it's time to get paid.
Yeah.
So you guys are basically billing for every and anybody for a fee.
Yes, sir.
That is nothing new in Junkanoo.
That's why I'm saying.
That is
And
nothing
that's
new
why
in
I'm saying.
Junkanoo.
We have persons in
We all know
groups
certain individuals in
being
Junkanoo
doing it
that
long time.
are being paid.
Yes.
Uncontracted.
Yes.
Okay.
And so because we decided to organize ourselves, and like I stated, what our track record was over the last 10 years, obviously it's now an issue. But persons have been doing this for years, but did not have the respect to do it in the proper manner that we did it. It's about, like I said, it's about being above ground. First of all, we have our private property. Private property, not owned by any Junkanooer.
Okay, here's my question to you. Here's my concern though. You have your private property.
Uh-huh.
Then he rush for that group when he contract some wing something.
Uh-huh.
I order something for my girls.
Uh-huh.
And I come there and I see Denny things. Now how that going?
You talked about how this building is going to be built,
I'm
right?
asking.
Now, I will say this. We operate like this. You either come with your drawing or we draw
Just
for
a
you.
drawing for you,
Yeah.
okay.
This a all-inclusive store, sir. We weld, we carve, we do it all. Okay?
You pace?
We have persons, we hire the pace too.
You need paces?
We have paces.
I asked if you need paces.
At this moment we have paces, right?
Yeah,
So this
I ain't
a
mentioned
one-stop,
that.
yeah. But this a one-stop shop, and if we exceed the number that we looking at, we will contact you too. But I would say this. So I would say this. Once we are sharp, produce, out the door. You don't do work in our studio.
Okay.
and it's not a shack, it's a studio. So we produce the work and we transport the work out.
I love the fact that you're not calling it a shack. Certain people in the Junkanoo world feel as if every structure needs to be called a shack.
Yeah.
Yes,
I disagree with that.
Agreed.
1000%.
agreed.
My workspace don't need to be called a shack. Because I'm doing Junkanoo doesn't mean this is a shack.
Yeah.
That's the mentality you want to put yourself into.
Yes, sir.
This is not a shack. This is a studio.
Right.
This is a working space for Junkanoo.
Yes.
And until we get it, you know, goal plant a seed in my head a long time ago. And I'm thankful for all my Junkanoo experiences. Thankful for Gus. Thankful for Doyle. Thankful for Gold. And me and Gus didn't have the perfect relationship. A lot of people in Junkanoo don't realize that. But I'm thankful for Gus. Gus is the man who used to piss me off the most in Junkanoo. You know why he used to piss me off the most? Because he wanted the best from me.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for Doyle. The reason I'm thankful for Doyle because Doyle was the man who would come to me after Gus pissed me off and say, look here.
It's all right.
No, it's not about it's all right. He said, okay, use the talent you have
Right.
to progress yourself in the way you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You beyond just the Valley Boys. If you want to have a problem, you're born Valley Boys, join the committee.
Yeah.
That's what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
I joined the committee. I had a problem with the committee, so you know
They
I
kick
do
you.
quit.
Yeah.
And after I quit, I said, man, like, I got a problem with the Valley Boys, so I quit.
Yeah.
So I did my own thing.
Now let me just go back into this now. I'm a Valley boy.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a Valley boy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Now
He's a businessman.
I'm a businessman first.
Okay.
Because my business provides for my family.
Amen.
Okay, and this is where I always say that we're not just Junkanooers. I like to say that because people think that Junkanoo is your life 24/7. Yes, I would love to see Junkanoo.
I get paid with that all the time.
You understand?
Who's Junkanoo? Why
Yeah,
you Junkanoo?
but I have to provide when I leave my house in the
There's
night.
nothing wrong with making Junkanoo your life and making money from Junkanoo. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
But
nothing
people-
wrong with that.
You know, which people wish they had their job like this.
Right.
A Junkanoo job like
Yeah.
you say, but if I could wake up every morning and do
And do Junkanoo.
I would
Listen.
do that rather than go
But
to
that's
work
what
for
this guy's
somebody
doing,
else.
eh?
That's
Listen,
my point.
we have our
And
usual
here's the thing,
avocation.
He has a nine. Sorry, no, this gentleman has a 9 to 5.
We have our usual avocation, and I'm married. So when I leave my house in the night to go to the shop, my wife will say, "Enjoy work," and I've done a lot of fun things in work. I was one of the persons who formulated Junkanoo Summer Festival. Okay, I worked administration, so I did marketing. I had fun at doing what I do. When I go to the studio in the night, it's no stress because I have my customer want something, and I just produce what my customer want, and
That's it.
we go from there. And it's fun. I mean, the guys there, we having a good time. It's a family. We participate in everybody's family event, and we understand that. Listen, you don't gotta come tonight. We understand that. We understand you have a life, bro. Once you there, just put in your time, and that's all it is. You know, making sure that you use the time that you have for use. I mean, good use.
It's all about management.
Yes.
Time management.
Yeah.
Carlos is a prime example. We had Carlos,
Yeah.
Carlos Bain.
Bain, yeah, man.
Listen to me. And he bought some of his artwork.
Yeah. Carlos,
And I'm about to open there.
Carlos and I used to rush together in Roots, so I could tell you. So I know Carlos is a good fella, and he's been billing for a long time. But Carlos' name might have just been coming up 5-10 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
Carlos doing so much more than just
That-
Junkanoo.
That's
But
exactly.
that's it.
And that's the crazy thing.
And people just know him because of Junkanoo.
And there was a trip.
Like,
and
he's more.
there's a trip I made recently, probably in the last 2 years, to Harvard Ride, and I bought
Radio.
Radio.
Yeah.
Radio sitting on the beach on the bay.
Uh-huh.
And he pacing.
Yeah.
Radio, what you doing, man?
Yeah.
What you doing here?
The art.
Say I'm here for construction, but I'm here and I'm working on my artwork and the perfect environment. He sat on the
Peace.
cool tree.
Peace.
Nobody bothered him.
Yes.
He could actually work and nobody even come
Yeah.
behind him and say what you doing because ain't nobody even into what he doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's the beauty of Junkanoo.
Yeah.
Valley of the Kings. So is Valley of the Kings the same as Sandal Design?
Valley of the
Or is there a
Kings.
difference?
Valley of the Kings is a shock within the Valley Boys.
Okay.
Like I stated, Valley of the Kings still exists. The Kings still exist. However, persons who are members of the King Shack would not be under a King's costume this upcoming parade.
Not this time. Unless
No.
it's different.
Well, we don't know when, but at this moment they would not be rushing.
The negotiations are ongoing.
Well, like I stated, it's up to the group to decide if they would want us to do work for those persons.
I'm sure I go wicked out at some point.
Well, this year is
No, this season
yeah.
is a wash. Okay.
And how things are going now, I doubt that it will be. But like
You never know. After the show, you
agreed.
never know.
But like I stated, I'm a Valley boy. We're Valley boys.
So will you be participating in this update, right?
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Like, I mean, John just sat on the side of you and said, those who the Valley say can't be. I mean, you could read into things. I'm sitting here and I know what the words are. It ain't like I'm somewhere else. I know when things are being pushed. And I will tell you, if I go on the parade, I think it might be an issue. And so to avoid issues, you stay away from it. Tribalism. All right. And like I said, and it's sad because I have a nephew who beats drum. And because he's my nephew or bad son, you think he would feel comfortable in that line? I mean, like, we're not just destroying or looking at senior persons. We're looking at these young persons who can who could be the next Rappa-pum-pum, the next Tino. You know what I'm saying?
I just said to you what I did to you when you started your Junkanoo career. So
Agreed.
we're basically doing the same thing to this young man.
Yes, yeah. And it's all of this
Which
is
tribalism. 101 all over.
Yeah.
Last year, but you wasn't much of the tribalism, you know. It's all about me.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to
No, understood.
my costume because I tried to buy my own costume.
Understood.
And back then it was voice and
But it also boils down to timing too, though. I think that when I came around y'all shock, it was later down in the year, and so
that doesn't make
no, agreed. But like I said, you know, we passed that because I can tell you no lie. You see it that way, right? I enjoyed rushing in your costume. Dinesh Jones. I met Dinesh during that parade.
Wow.
And you see how I could call his name out like that,
now
right?
Bring back Jamal.
Yes.
The next Jamal.
Yes.
And it's amazing because you guys bought a freshest Junkanoo right here. The Junkanoo didn't have because you were young and these guys some dance there. off.
Yes.
And
I had a ball. And guess where I rushed? And guess where I rushed? Guess where I rushed? In the back of the group. And I enjoyed that. And see, that is another thing that's what killing us, you know.
Yeah, man, see, because we get the mindset of finding
Discipline.
And
that's
in
it.
the front, I ain't nothing. But it's all the man.
Denny.
I'm not in the most fun you have a bit about
Denny,
that group.
Denny, not even
you
that.
You ain't got to worry about nobody rushing you out the way.
Back in the group too.
Hey, you ain't got to remember nobody rushing you. You got to have your ball in the back there. Come on, move on the side.
Right.
I do not embrace that.
You know?
When he come up with me in the back, I threw a costume at him.
Yeah, but just to be on the road. But not only that, like
mentality.
I look at right, and it's about today for you, tomorrow for me.
Yeah.
Today might not be your day. So guess what? We talk about sports, right?
Yeah.
I look at Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki is a Hall of Famer. Dirk Nowitzki said, "Listen, I know that now that they bring DeAndre here, I'm going on the bench. I have no problem going on the bench, right? Some mornings, some people got to go in the back. It ain't personal. I've lined up the group. Danny lined up the group. And but it's what's best for the team.
A prime example of that is Denrick's girlfriend or Denrick's wife. I'm not sure what she is to Denrick. I remember one morning, we put it in the back. They bring the same costume back a couple of days, and man, this gal is in the front and she hit the board, boss.
Yeah.
It's just timing it where you at. So Jamal, I'm sure we cover all the Kings and all the Sand Dollar events, but I want your opinion. I mean, we can give you the last word and just say what you want to say about whatever you want to say. But I want your opinion. We are at a crossroad right now in Junkanoo in terms of the materials we use. You have now the glitter foams. We have, we see things we discuss on almost enough. You watch our show, so you know what we talk about. Your thoughts? Are we going in the right direction, or should we stay with the craft? I can tell you my opinion.
Let me hear your opinion.
My opinion is I think we should stay with the crepe paper and the craft. Just like how the Buddha monks stay with the beads. Because that's what makes it different.
Yeah.
Now when we start taking on these other products, we incorporate so much from Carnival that my fear is that now that we replace the crepe paper, that there is no separation. There will be no separation. Yeah. Your thoughts?
And some fellas might laugh at this because I believe that we should keep some elements of it. We should keep crepe paper for sure. But I think also, too, when we look at longevity of costumes, obviously, once I sweat, all my chest plate mess up. And we talk about preserving these costumes.
Why? What do you preserve these costumes for?
Well, stay tuned. The same things you've been talking about, like I told you, you must have been in the blueprint.
Well, we have found a solution to that same problem you mentioned just now. Like, cross my legs, let you continue.
All right,
Okay.
but I think that we shouldn't. The cloth is, some of the cloth is okay. We just have to make sure that it's balanced. 70, 75, 25 rule, I'm all for that. 80-20 rule, I'm all for that.
The reason I laugh is because that 725 rule is for decoration.
Yeah,
We all
but
know.
do you realize? See, and this is another thing with the rules, right? The rules state that any material you slice
Our
is
rules are so
spacing,
hard.
eh?
We got more.
That's what the rules state.
got more
So when I
rules.
cut,
We have more loopholes
when
than
I
the
cut,
rules.
when I cut a piece of cloth, I'm still fringing. I mean, let's be real. I mean, see, and so it's words that we use. So it's my interpretation to your interpretation, and so that's where training have to be put in place and say this is exclusive of these materials, okay? But the wheels, I remember one morning where Bats had built a costume, a lead costume. I think it was when we did Many Faces of India. The frame was too high for the persons who had to carry. So he had asked me, little me, to carry the lead costume. No wheels on this lead costume. But I had a ball because I just wanted to carry costume. I just wanted to say that I was a part of something, you know what I mean? And we ended up winning that morning.
What are your thoughts of the wheels anyway?
I think persons don't know how to use the wheels. That's why it's a lot of breakdown to start off with.
Breakdown in terms of costuming or breakdown in terms of...
Movement of the costume. Like when you look at persons saying, oh, they only could move side by side, I think it's the placement of the wheels.
I've seen so many different versions. I've seen people pulling the costume. I've seen people actually in the costume, like in the medium, and like they actually have
The first year, the Junkanoo had allowed wheels on Bay Street. I was with Colors. And as you know, Colors we did, yeah,
When they allow them.
right.
How long ago that was?
So I'm going to tell you right now, I was with Colors, and we did a costume, a lead costume that morning. It wasn't a lead costume. It was, to me, a step down.
Right.
We did a white costume. All I had was one white big face with some rods and balls coming off of it. We did the white costume that morning. Right. And I moved out of the costume, like how they do as Carnival King and Queens. I moved out of the costume. I had on a
Performance.
I performed. I walked back in the costume, perform. And as you know, when I was a little younger and I could have jumped on the barricades and do all those stuff.
He was young G Money back then.
Right. So that's when I was a little younger. Now I a little more. Oh no, can't do that no more. So I had, but like I said, it's the way you use it. I don't have a problem with wheels. The only thing is that the costumes are gonna get bigger and bigger. Like
They get bigger for a smaller,
that's
smaller,
right,
You know.
and that's the issue. So
I mean, we put in provision that for growth,
right.
but the venue has no growth.
Right. And that's the issue. So if you growing and your venue is the same, then obviously you have to stop and analyze and say, either we move or we got to take away the wheel. Because look at a person like Tony. Tony last year had a frame, not a frame, a step down and entered into a lead costume.
And he was allowed to do that because the provisions are size-wise.
Yeah.
It's not depth or
Yep.
or an interpretation of what your costume presents. And this is an eye-opener for most lead costumes. If you could bring a step down and win with less,
But
then why not bring less?
agreed. But I go to another thing too though, because I think too that we also have to make sure that, as you know, Junkanoo goes up to the last minute, last second before you even,
way to
right?
add, yeah.
The problem too is that we as Junkanooers have to make sure that we're healthy, because we're going out there and producing a costume, and then we go and we're not healthy to or trained to carry that size costume. A lot of people never try on their costume to feel where the weight is and so forth. And so that is a
That's right too, Jamal. You spend so much time you seen that costume.
Right.
Case in point, Wild Wild West.
Yes.
That costume got wet twice.
Yes, and you had to repaint. Rebase. Yep. And you know you
Everybody
strip.
asked-
And you
every-
strip.
and everybody
Cheating
asked-
wasn't going on
and
there.
Everybody asked me, said, why was he able to carry the costume?
Yeah, he was blown. He
I
sat
was
down and
physically
it was
down.
like you could see that, and he had a great costume, mind you. We came from in the back of, and you remember how I end up in there?
Seaboard Marine.
My father's restaurant was right next
exactly.
door, the bar.
How y'all close down?
Well, stay tuned, right? But
I'd like that.
yeah,
Open back
but
the place. Thank you very much. That was a lifesaver.
the shack was right next door, and I was always surrounded by Valley boys. Across the road, we had the
That was the Malcolm Garage.
Malcolm Garage.
Right.
Then when the Valley Boys girls and I think the Bellas at one time went where
Seaboard Marine.
where the clothing store used to be next door.
Oh yes. Across the road from us, though.
John, what is it called? Jack and Jill or something like that. You know. So I was I held pace on Silver Slipper.
All right. We
So
didn't want to say
all right.
that, yeah.
So but yeah, we have to make sure we healthy enough. And so Sandal is here to help you with that. So you don't have to be
So can we
working
say,
too hard.
No,
If
no.
you could say what?
Sandal is fulfilling the carnival model actually.
Well,
Well, if this is costume, ring costume, you need to get a pace, you can pace it. If you need to get a bill, you can bill it.
yes sir.
Yes,
You
I'll be
fill,
Bob.
you fill in every void.
Yes sir.
Now, what are the costs like? Are we talking? I gotta sell my first child.
No. Listen,
I gotta get a piece of my teams.
listen.
You know the females say, I ain't getting my teams for the Junkanoo.
Listen. We work.
talking to business,
We
yeah.
working with everyone.
Payment plans.
Payment plan, sir.
All right.
We also you talk about the carnival model. You either
I
could,
love the
you
carnival
either could
model.
come, like I stated, you could come with your materials and your drawing, or you give us or you need the drawing and we provide the materials. All of that is a part of a cost.
So
So,
let's
it's
say-
different costs for different things.
So you're doing carpets too?
Everything, sir.
Everything. Okay.
We're
let's say-
one-stop shop.
So let's say I got a lead costume, and I go on figure, I can't finish, and I give you all like one notice. I say, okay, I need to get that knocked out.
Well, we obviously, Junkanoo is our last minute.
Very last. And
Sand Dollar is in last minute. What we're trying to do, we're managing our time. This year, everyone is planning to enjoy
Christmas.
Christmas. 2 years ago,
what that is?
see, and let me
What
tell
is that?
let me tell you how
Why do you
funny
do
it
that?
is. 2 years ago,
Enjoy Christmas.
I had my mother-in-law birthday is around the Christmas time. I had the opportunity to actually go to her birthday party and saw for New Year's saw fireworks with my wife, and it was
I open, right?
I was like I was missing all this and not so
Yeah, we tend to get involved, so engulfed with Junkanoo that we forget simple things. in
yeah
life.
and family so and so for us we will have a cutoff time because obviously we don't want to be behind and you trying to put pressure on us. We're business. We're not going to say no if you come to us today, but if you come to us the last minute, we're not going to put more on us that we could bear. You as a businessman, and as you know, as Junkanoo, you have to make sure if you have to be keep your word. If you want to do something, listen, I could do that for you, and I could do this at this particular time, so forth. But like I said, we're gonna launch our page soon. But you could find us on Facebook at Valley of the Kings. You will see different things that we would have done. Junkanoo costumes. We also set up backdrops for events. We also do carvings. We do props for kids' parties, for you name it. We have an in-house artist in Marco Mullins, so we do airbrushing, everything. You get your head airbrush, and carve everything. So we're not just building Junkanoo costumes.
Right. So let's say I have a wedding coming up and I need some centerpieces.
We could do that too. We've done that's the thing. Over the years, we've been
Worn out. You know what's
Right.
become popular recently, and it shouldn't be popular? It's kids' projects.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Because I believe the kids should be doing the project, but you coming to me looking for
My
something.
my
I
daughter.
scratch my head, like,
My
no.
daughter was in grade 2 and had to do a 3D elephant. I said, a 3D elephant? I said, 3D elephant? I said, hold on now. That means I got to carve this, get this carved. And so I'm like, what is she going to do? You know what she did? She held paint and probably put the eyes on the elephant.
Yeah.
But she can't tell you the process of
3D and that.
no. All she saw is daddy coming home with this elephant. Oh, get the paintbrush and let's paint. That's it.
Are we doing a disservice by doing that though?
Yes, we are. We're doing the service by doing a lot of stuff. But yes, we are.
I understand. I understand. You know, a lot of persons have recently brought the subject of Junkanoo in the schools, and what you guys are doing seems to be fitting right into that model of what they need to be doing in schools. But the problem is this: the teacher would say, "Go build an elephant," but 95% of the time, the teacher can't build an elephant.
Yeah.
So what you asking the teacher to do? You asking the teacher to go
But-
ask the parent to go employ somebody to do something what you want your child to do, but you're not teaching the child how to do it. Help me understand it. Fill the gap. Help me. Mr. Lloyd, help me, because
First of all,
I'm hurt.
before we even do that, when we talk about introducing Junkanoo to the schools, Junior Junkanoo is junior.
Look, you see my reaction just
The
now?
sad part
You
about
see my-
the sad
you see my
part
reaction
about
just now?
the sad part about Junior Junkanoo is this.
It's failed. It's
Not-
a fraud.
We don't even tell the history of Junkanoo to Junior Junkanoo is.
That's
So they don't
Jamal,
even know that.
Jamal.
You have to know the foundation first, though.
But here's the thing: if the best part of Junior Junkanoo is the kindergarten category,
Yeah.
if they have the best costumes,
They do.
and they do.
Reason being because the parents is do the costume.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
here's the problem. By the time they reach high school, which is the problem right here?
Yeah.
They in pants.
I
Claude,
judged Junior Junkanoo
Claude,
before.
why is high school in Claude and the kindergarten dress in full
Right.
regalia, fully paced, fully decorated?
You know why?
Help me.
You know why?
This will be getting better, not worse.
Because it's us, the parents. When we have, sad to say,
This is the problem with Junior Junkanoo. I don't really want to know what the problem. This is the problem with Junior Junkanoo. Henry Higgins, who's in charge of Junior Junkanoo, this is the problem we have with Junior Junkanoo right now. There's no reason that the kindergarten should be the best category. There's no reason for that.
but see, as a Junkanooer, I'll tell you this: if I judge in Junkanoo, bro, Junior Junkanoo, which I've done before, I would judge a preschool or a school where the kids actually did the costumes themselves over somebody who a 1 year old who I know. You won't stick them feathers there. You won't get the straight line. I would judge me as a Junkanooer who believe. Yeah, understood. Well, it's about pride too. It's about pride. Some people just there to say they there, and when they get there, they ain't not their best. That's why I tell you, it starts with being above ground, being professional. Take Junkanoo, take anything you do serious. Junkanoo prepared me for my work life. Junkanoo prepared me for the world. When I went off to college, it was so sad that I even FedEx a costume to school, Tennessee, to Pace. But Junkanoo helped me that discipline, knowing that, listen, you have this is your deadline.
Yes.
Let's go. Don't wait for the last minute, because if you wait for the last minute, you ain't get enough sleep. I have the 3 S's that I do before every parade. So I have to make sure that I get my 3 S's in.
Which are?
Shower, shave, and then the other thing. That's it. No, seriously, because
I'm laughing because we all know in Junkanoo, those are the 3 S's everybody needs.
Right,
But everybody
because-
don't have time
because-
to do, or everybody don't do it.
and it's about time management, bro. I remember being to a meeting and someone said, bro, do you know that if you ain't add that stone there, they don't know that stone ain't supposed to be there? So why you?
Continuously.
Some of our costumes is be so nice, but because we have so much more time, we start to add it. Like you said, fellas, it's job throw the decorations up and wherever it lad, they stick it on.
Yeah.
No, let me see the beauty of the costume, and so it's about preparation. The schools need better training. Obviously, they need more resources. The persons they putting into the school to assist, they only doing so much. It has to be inclusive of the parents too, and that's why the preschools are so good. Because once their parents is paid for their costumes to get done, bro.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
$100 parents, Junior Junkanoo, we here for you too.
This man here marketing yourself. I don't blame you, bro. Market yourself.
I mean,
yourself.
let's be real. Like I said,
That's a huge market for you. 'Cause I can imagine just the preschools and primary schools.
yeah, yeah. We've done, like I said, we've done carnival costumes too.
Carnival as a whole, and what's the surprised our past guests when we actually told them to mention the carnival event that's happening today. You want to talk carnival?
But
This show is not a Junkanoo
Yeah.
only show.
Yeah.
Junkanoo, we have 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Me and him have 2 seasons. We both look at the 2 seasons. January 1st is carnival season.
Yep.
But like the carnival group say today, their season starts today. So
Yeah.
you might as well they do it from the day. They decided it from the day. They already designed for Miami, so you know they're ready to go today.
And now we need to change that model of Junkanoo. I've said it years over years.
In terms of what?
Of we need a proper Junkanoo festival. And when I say Junkanoo festival, Junkanoo Summer Festival is all right and all that. I'm talking about when the Junkanoo season, the height of it. This where you have A groups and B groups rushing the same morning, and people say, oh, nobody could come out to the A group, mean to the B groups if they rush.
Most A groups will come out to watch.
There is nothing to do in the Bahamas. There's nothing to do
say it one more time.
in
You use
the
like tourists, you like tourists, right?
Bahamas.
You like tourists, right?
Yes, sir.
Say it in the mic.
There is
Say it in the
nothing to do in the Bahamas. Okay? That's why a lot of people is have house parties now. They stay home, play game, and nobody coming out no more. We drink a lot of rum because we stay in one place and nothing to do. So we need to, and especially Junkanoo, which is our culture expression. There should be festival. You and listen.
Junkanoo was a huge market.
Listen, you and Danny and Percy, y'all should be making, when y'all film Junkanoo, I mean, I don't know how y'all is doing, but when y'all film Junkanoo, those cameras ain't cheap. And if they think, oh, take my picture, paparazzi, well, where the money is for the picture that I taken for you. All they see, and when they bump into you and they drop your lens and your lens crack, then paparazzi, you got to buy that lens over. You see what I'm saying? So it's materials you got to work. They just see you come here with this camera and thing that you could take everybody picture. Why is it that we don't have a festival where you and Danny could have a booth and they could come and actually purchase their pictures from you? You display your pictures and you print them right there and you make money. The Junkanoo groups make money. Y'all talking about this $30,000 that they got, and then I will tell you this: Carnival is getting money, but Carnival also gets their sponsors, and that's why one of the groups that I like what they do, Genesis, when they were on your show, they talked about it. One company can't give you $10 million or
You got multiple.
$70,000. You get them small persons who say, listen, we just need this water here today. You know how important water is in Junkanoo? We just need, you see what I'm saying? I just need some water. Sponsor me water. And I put your name. You know how far that marketing goes?
And this is an example we're trying to push for both prodigal sons and music makers. The groups that are challenged with sponsors, so they say. At least appear to try and help yourself.
Right.
And then someone will come and say,
Right.
okay, we buy into what you're saying. Because right now, what they say, and they selling this, the situation they're selling is, oh, we're contributing Junkanoo by inviting new people into Junkanoo, and then they go to other groups. Why should people leave your group?
Yeah.
Why should people
You should have a
leave
product.
their group, though?
You should have a product.
That's the thing. Why should you be a group? Why should you be a middle group to set somebody up to leave your group to go
Right.
someplace else?
But also, too, it's called self-evaluation, though.
You have to.
As a business, Junkanoo is a business. It's a business model. You have an organization and you running it because
But we treat it like a penny shop.
right. So
Until you guys come along.
so you run you do self-evaluation. Listen, human capital, because in Junkanoo you need human capital, right? Because those human capital will actually invest into your business. If persons don't buy into Sand Dollar, we could have as much grandy ideas and things to build and to design, but if we don't have the clientele, obviously we're not going to succeed. We'll have to close shop down next week. Junkanoo is only a short season. When January first come, Sand Dollar still have to continue. So we're not just Junkanoo, okay? So this is a business, all right? Shout out to Marco and Bats, the proprietors of Sand Dollar, all right? But when you look at it, we have to now say, as a group, bro, we have not made the parades over the last couple of years. Let's be real within ourselves. See, and I talk about going in the back of the group earlier. It's about self-evaluation. You know that your time has come and say, listen, yes, we little community. Let's go as a community organization, smaller. Don't have to be in the A group. And let's start. but then there's rules too. We need to, if you won't make it after so much parades, but you know, it's all, use my friend, I need your little vote. Let's do. I mean, that's how our country run. And so,
Politics,
yeah,
boss.
that's how it's run, and so we can continue run like that.
You know.
So, but we're excited. We're excited for what tomorrow will bring, what today has brought us, and we just continue to smile and continue to do what we have to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a volley boy. Yes, Ian, I'm a volley boy. But I'm employed with Sand Dollar, you know, and the Valley has made their decision, and so I have to make a sound decision for my family. Because I can't go to my wife and tell my wife, listen, I turned down that job, so me and you, our lights get cut off. I can't buy that generator, which you want, because BBL keep cutting off. And it ain't about the money, you know. I need to clear that up too. It ain't about the money. You know what's so sad? No matter how much you do, you ain't do enough. And that's what it comes to, the bottom line. No matter how much you do, you ain't do enough. Because listen, no matter how much you do, you ain't do enough. I want you to go through all the videos, New Year's in particular. I could go down the line and tell you what was produced by Kings, which was produced by Kings. But we ain't do enough. 2 lead costumes a morning. We only got 2 builders in our shop. 2, what's the word? Approved builders in our shop by the group. Bats and Marco.
That's plenty.
Right? But listen, we producing 30 costumes, 2 lead costumes, designing backline, right? Also, these fellas, they ain't just there, they going to meetings too. So their time have to be into the meeting, into the shop, right? Then you got other little people, not other little people, people come in, knocking on the door, hey, the group sent me down here, I need a costume. You're a group player, so I can build a costume for you. You know, I mean, we want to win.
And not necessarily group send them.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, understood. But people in the group say, boy, check them fellas. Where our building is, where our studio is, you ain't gonna just be passing there. You don't pass that.
I have no idea where.
You don't pass. We're located Glaston Road. So they're telling you, you don't just pass there.
I got expression right face.
Yeah,
No curve.
we are.
No curve for that part of the island. I don't
But
know nothing about
that's what I'm saying. And we in the dead end. So you don't just pass there. You have to be coming there. You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, our shack is not open. Our studio is not open because it's a business studio now.
Oh, I come in.
No, it's a business studio.
I'm
I'll call you paparazzi. I'll call you the open house. But like I say, costumes are built. But paparazzi, we do have to talk because, as you know, I've been taking the photos of our costumes over the last couple of years. I just started to produce them on Facebook because, as you know, persons don't want to show their costume during the season or whatever. But over the last 2 years, I've been keeping record because I've always been behind.
I've been encouraging everybody.
Yeah.
To do that. Just document the costume from Brown
Right.
to completion.
Well,
and you'd be surprised what you get.
yeah,
what you get
and
the
so
other day.
I've been documenting it, and as we move further into our business, obviously the branding of the business will be launched. I apologize for not bringing shirts and all of that. Ash,
We get our
you will
shirts,
get your
but
shirts.
We'll accept them with weather.
Yeah, you'll get your shirts.
Just like that.
Like I said, $100. I mean, people being here, and the thing about it is, the Junkanoo community is so big that you don't even know. People will come to you and tell you stories that have never happened, but then niggas, and they'd be like, for real? And I was like, yeah. So, but people have been calling, persons from different groups. Hey, A groups, B groups, Freeport groups, calling. Hey, I need something to be done.
More individuals call you yet.
Listen, I've been calling. I need you. And if you need to reach us, like I said, go on Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook account, ask somebody for us, and we'll be happy to reach to you.
Why don't you get people your phone contact?
My phone,
now?
boy.
No. Your phone. Is there
Yeah.
8 you give him?
825-4787.
Yeah, give him
All right,
that one.
825-4787. Like I said, we're having fun. And
So are you guys busy right now, or you're just in between right now, or since it's your first year? You're busy?
we're staying afloat.
Okay.
We're staying afloat.
I gotta hit you up because I got a couple of jobs that you talk to.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. Like I said,
Same job related.
yeah. Like I said, if it could be odd, we could do it.
And you know what? I firmly believe, and when we spoke online, and you said I must be a psychic because certain things I said on the show resonate with you guys. These general things, man. I foresee in the next less than maybe 2 years, Junkanoo is going to have many businesses just like yours operating, and you guys will be providing the costumes for multiple groups. People decide who costume you want from which particular company, because this is the way of the future.
But paparazzi,
This is the way of the future.
this is
And
nothing new.
And I come on and I get an app and I click and I say, okay, that's like how Carnival say,
I could
that's
buy
the
this.
costume.
Oh,
I want that, and I want Jamal pays it, and I want Jamal. I don't like how the next company doing their own version of for the same group, you know. I like how you all doing it.
right.
I could see this happening in the next 5 years, where individuals who want a Junkanoo costume, just pick up the phone, go on an app, and say that's the costume I want. Next 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 4
And
weeks,
and
pick it
that's
up.
and that's what Carnival love over us.
And
You
that's
know, it'd
also,
be-
and that's also my fear, though.
What is that?
The fear that the separation between Carnival and Junkanoo is when you produce your own costume, you have better. That costume is yours.
Paparazzi. You see, fellas.
I
Hold on, paparazzi.
I mention that because I'm mentioning the purists. I'm talking about the purists out there who kind of rock with me saying.
Paparazzi.
I agree with you.
I will tell you this,
I agree with
paparazzi,
you.
and I go close to the mic. A lot of fellas and females who you see on Bay Street with these spectacular costumes.
Don't produce their own.
Don't do not
Produce their own costume.
So-
Do you want me to hold the mic or you want me to drop the mic?
You said so, and
We
they will
know
be there,
this.
and they will be there.
In spectacular fashion.
Oh,
Like you said.
just
they
show up.
created it,
But
But they have nothing to do with it.
no, but paparazzi.
And then,
That don't mean that
then
it
there's
isn't
also the
theirs.
purists.
That don't mean it isn't theirs.
I agree
I
with
bill
that.
you a host. I bill you a host.
Case in point.
I bill you a host,
Case in point,
paparazzi,
case in point,
and you
case-
live light.
I-
You look good in your
can
house,
I
and
go-
your house is nice.
Can I go simpler than that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You walk down the road and you see this beautiful girl walking down the road, that's long down, brown hair down to the hip. When you spin around, you look at that face, you be like, that hair doesn't match that face.
Right.
Okay, let's say no more.
But paparazzi, it's different though. Like I
Is it
said,
different?
paparazzi, like I said, you proud of your host. That
But that's her hair. She bought that.
understood.
It's hers.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's hers. So it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, same
So,
thing,
but
same thing.
I mean, and then, like I go back to what I started
It's
with.
just me using a different model. And that's what
Yes,
people have
and
a
I have a
little
life.
difficulty
You have a
with.
life. I want to make your life a little easier, but I still want you to participate in Junkanoo.
Exactly. I agree with you. I totally agree
You're a
with you.
businessman. You don't got the time to come in the shack and be there until 3 o'clock in the morning pacing. No, sir. We got that covered for you.
Remember the guy
Sand
named-
dollar.
Remember the guy named Radio?
Yeah, I know radio.
Okay. We used to know Radio.
Well, he's deceased now. Yeah.
Radio used to have everything on the line. He
Yeah.
Who passed and
Yeah.
on the line.
And, yeah.
The bottom line is that's
Us is Bob.
40 costumes on that line right now. You pass next, there's another 40
And-
costumes for another group.
And that's why I said to
another
you,
group, and another group, and it doesn't matter.
and that's why I said to you that this is nothing new.
So, let me ask
This is
you-
nothing
so
new.
let me ask
Danny
you a
can tell you
question.
that.
So let me ask
This
you,
is not new.
all the secrecy we have in Junkanoo, let's try out the window. Because, I mean, everybody know who
No,
bringing
no.
what. No. We know who bringing what.
Yeah,
first.
we know
At the
bringing
end.
what, but it's how you interpret it also. So,
Which
for
is true,
example, like I said, for me, for the way we operate our business, obviously it's a one in and out. You don't come in there pacing or whatever because we want to keep
You're in control of the environment.
yes, and we want to keep our clients satisfied to know that it is such. So our
I think we beyond the secrecy.
no, it ain't about. For me, it's not about secrecy,
not,
but
not really
it's
their business. Not really their business. I'm talking
Yeah.
generally speaking now.
well, we all know.
I'm talking generally speaking.
Well, this
Everybody-
device here that we have in our hand,
Not
you
only
know,
that,
and people is talking.
Before that.
People is
Before
talking.
Before that, we know. I used
Yeah.
to get the Valley Boys team every year from one family member.
No, you
Every year.
you know this kill you know this kill me, right?
Every year.
You know this kill me, right?
Until he joined the Valley, I couldn't get no more.
You know this kill me, right? So, the Valley Boys have choose a theme tonight, and
First thing in the morning,
on the street you hear it, right? I'll call some people. I say, "Boy, I hear about." They'll be like, "How you hear that?" They just come to the meeting last night, but that ain't the. You know what I mean? So you'll be like, "Boy, it's our own. It's our own. It ain't somebody who's a stranger. It's our own."
Let's look at the carnival model. Carnival doesn't hide what they
No, they do costume launch.
encourage- It's the opposite. They encourage people to do it. They invite people based on what they bring in.
Yep.
It's a question we normally ask. We getting ready to segue out, and we can let you out the final word, of course. If you were in charge of the JCNP, what would you do differently with Junkanoo? Or what would you suggest they do differently in Junkanoo? You in control. You was the man in charge. What would you do differently? Or what would you do?
First of all, we need independent people running Junkanoo. We've tried this Junkanooist system far too long. Some people ain't gonna like that.
No.
But
You got the word.
but
boss.
but
You speak.
we need, yes, Junkanooists know Junkanoo, but that don't mean Junkanooists are the best in managing Junkanoo.
Those people who manage company don't have no knowledge of what the company do.
No, people who own the company don't know how the company, but they hire people to manage the company, and so
Your
we need.
job is management.
I'm
Right.
I'm so
Right.
sorry to cut you off, but we have a show that I think we can air whenever we can make the show. We have an interview with Mr. Arthur Gibson, who was
Right.
first chairman of JCNP, and he said this exact same words, that the JCNP was supposed to be run and managed by an independent
Independent, yes.
person.
Right. Well, let's see.
And it's amazing that you come back here and say the same thing. The person was
Festivals
supposed to-
around the world, bro, are run by independent people who just promoting that festival.
who just run festivals.
Yes, that's it.
They don't have no
That's
affiliation.
that's it. I worked in Ministry of Tourism where I planned festivals. We was in the Junkanooers. Well, I mean, we was in. Yeah, I was. But we as a department was in the Junkanooers. We knew what our vision was and how we. So what we do is we hire the Junkanooers. We hire the vendors. We hire people to achieve the common goal. But when you have Junkanooers in there, it then gets cloudy because guess what? You could come and say, "But I need it this way. I need it that." Yeah, because we all
Everybody looking after their
tribalism,
Exactly.
tribalism, and it's so sad that I could see you because you rush with another group. I don't even talk to you. I've talked to more people now, and this should be bad. This is a bad thing. I've talked to more people now since $1 in Junkanoo than I've ever talked to in my life. When I left Roots, I was the worst thing in Roots. You see what I'm saying? When you leave these groups, people hate you
I can tell you a little
and don't
secret.
know who you are.
I can tell you a secret. You will always be affiliated by the group you was last
Yeah,
associated with.
agree, understood.
Because I've been trying to not necessarily
Clear that out, yeah.
disassociate myself from the Valley Boys, but I'm trying to be as independent as possible. And to this day, if I see people jump up and say, "Oh, you was a Valley Boy," I look at them like, really?
Well, that ain't what people is tell me. They just call me $1 now. So, no, but I understand. And I agree. But I mean, I think that we have to, like I said, look into Junkanoo and have independent people running it.
You said Junkanoo is a business.
Yes, it is. Junkanoo is a business. Every festival is a business, bro.
You don't have a festival, bro.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about around the world. We looking at.
We don't have a festival, bro.
That's why it should be a festival. That's why it should be
Give me a model of a festival.
a fest.
You don't mind, right? Give me a model of a festival.
My model of
Show me how you would set your festival up from beginning, not necessarily, and I don't want great details, just say from Junior Junkanoo, which I think should be the start of the Junkanoo Festival, to January 1st, which I think should be the end of the festival.
Right.
That'd be a
So-
2-week period or 3-week period?
it starts like this. I think when we go to our senior Junkanooers, we need to tell our senior Junkanooers that they need to adopt schools. Start off with.
Adopt schools.
Right. Right?
We don't have enough groups to adopt every school.
Yeah, but we have enough individuals to adopt schools.
Okay, so we can have a section adopt
Adopt a school,
You can
yeah.
say the Valley Boy
Right.
Brass adopt, tell them to Gibson.
Right. You adopt school.
Saxon's Brass
Yeah.
adopt. Wherever you practice,
Right.
Right, because the majority of the use of schools is practice.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
Prime.
we have the festival. Now, when they moved to the stadium, I didn't like the stadium aspect.
You have a Junior Junkanoo.
The Junior Junkanoo. I like,
That was in the back.
yes, I like the Awaki.
To my information, I'm hearing that going back to Bay Street.
Yes, but I like the what's it called? The
I like the layout of Arawak.
Awa. It's a straight road. Remember when we used to rush?
And then you come around and the
Yeah.
kids do,
And they finish.
back roads,
No.
you know.
And that's the problem with Bay Street.
Yeah.
Bay Street, yes, when you for us
You
who
don't tend to lose the kids.
rush in and going straight around, you're going in a complete circle.
They
But
go the opposite way. They go
Right.
around and they
And then they
back
come
around the
through-
bay.
right.
They come back around the market. Right.
and that area is dark and not the best. But Obviously, have it out on Awaki, where they would have had it on the eastern side. And you have events going leading up to the big parade. Same way these carnival groups have it. So you talk about having one practice site. I think that's what the JCNP is trying to do now with this Junker, whatever it is called.
Junker Jam?
Junker Jam.
Junker Jam is a production of Collect, so I'm not sure I can't say
All right.
it's a model
Well, it looks similar to Junkanoo Summer Festival.
But here's my issue with both Junkanoo Jam and Junkanoo Summer Festival. You invite people to have vendors on the southern side, and you're competing against the vendors on the western side. So why have it the same spot where you have a number of fixed vendors already?
To be honest with you, those Awaki vendors enjoy that. Remember when it was down?
I would enjoy it too. If I was a vendor, I'd enjoy it too.
Yeah.
You bring in free entertainment.
Right. So
free entertainment
to make money.
Free entertainment. What
understood.
You get in return, though?
But we don't have the facilities for that at this time.
No, but I mean, when they have the stalls on the next side for summer festival.
But this is the thing, right?
Those vendors aren't contributing nothing to Junkanoo.
Understood. But you are not. But you are some Junkanooers. If you have a business, you are allowed to put in for that to have a stall. You know.
Actually, they have stalls, but now you're competing with the vendors on Arawaki. The event is right in front of the vendor stalls, right?
But listen to what I'm saying to you.
Go ahead.
The vendors, the Awaki vendors, vendors like that. Let me tell you why.
I would like it too.
Okay, so they like it because you bring in business to them.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
But what you mean they competing?
If I was to get a stall now, they put me on the next side.
Because
inside
the Junkanooers who are actually participating are allowed to have stalls. Their stalls are in the grassy period.
Where the stage is.
Yeah.
Where the stage is.
Across from
Right.
So now
where the vendors are.
we're
We're rushing in the road, which is at least
Closer
300
to-
meters away from the stalls.
Oh no, you.
from the
I mean, come on.
Junkanoo,
Let's be real.
but closer to the stalls than from the festival.
But let's be real. When Junkanoo, y'all always say this. When Junkanoo come on, everybody run towards Junkanoo.
And what's happening is they run towards the stalls because the stalls are close to the
But
road.
where's the entertainment before the Junkanoo going? Junkanoo just is the finale. That's all it is.
No.
Is this the finale?
No, this festival's different
It's just strictly Junkanoo.
because
No.
they have a DJ on beforehand, and then there's Junkanoo rush. But once the Junkanoo start rushing,
Oh, you talking about the Junkanoo Jam?
Yeah.
Junkanoo Jam.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Talking
That's.
about Junkanoo Jam.
Oh, I thought you
We
were talking about Junkanoo Summer Festival.
No,
Oh,
we have Junkanoo Jam.
so
you got-
and they have Junkanooers. Where do they have the on the
On the same side, the same
place?
setup
No,
had
why they
for-
just? I passed there last night. They was on
closer to
they
the
were
road.
on the pavement.
Okay.
They were on the pavement when I passed there last
Alright,
night.
okay.
So they've moved them from where they had the artisans at Junkanoo Summer Festival.
Right.
That's where they placed the Junkanooers who have the stall now.
But they also have to compete with the vendors who are also there.
Yeah, but
Already established.
Danny said when he goes somewhere he can support a Junkanoo. We just need to remember to support our own. So now you telling me my own Junkanoo ain't gonna support me?
No,
They ain't just the
I ain't
Junkanoo,
saying.
it's
I'm
the
not saying. I'm
fans,
not saying. I'm not saying
fan
that. Though.
base.
I'm not saying that though.
Our Junkanoo can come and
Junkanooers
support
not gonna support you.
But
It's
the,
a-
fan, the
The regular
base is-
fan, they get into their regular spot.
See, with the summer festivals on the next side, you
It's about the way you market your business. PR. It's about
that too.
marketing. If you ain't know nothing about marketing, $100, it's about marketing your business.
We agree with you.
You don't just go there.
1000%. It's also how you market your festival.
Agree, you do.
Why would you place your festival in direct competition with the vendors who are already there?
Yeah.
That's my point. That's my
Well, the
point.
vendors-
Anyway,
I think the vendors are
my
against
point.
them being
And
on the
then-
other
and then
side.
you have to compete, and then you don't have no alcohol provision because the person who's sponsoring the whole event
He's selling
is an
alcohol.
vendor.
Yeah, of course.
So who wins?
Of course.
Once
That's
again, the only winner here is Collect.
yeah.
The only winner.
But see,
and they
collect.
providing collect
Let me.
for all those vendors, and then they say, "Oh, we have drink specials to those
But-
those vendors too."
but let me-
So
let-
you inviting people to come in there as your event, and you selling the Junkanoo was a dream because drink specials.
It goes
for all
beyond
those
that.
spots.
It goes beyond that though. See,
It's
you
marketing
look
101,
you're looking at Collect.
No,
I'm telling you.
And
But
it's
what
bigger than the
Collect
Collect,
what
'cause
Collect looking at?
sponsoring the actually
what
collect
Kalik
something
looking
from
at,
Junkanoo,
what Kalik
So
looking
they
at
get
is,
something in return.
of course,
Exactly.
of course.
This
I'm giving you money and you ain't nothing coming back to me.
This whole collect event is to replace the event that has now been deceased down at their location.
Yeah.
And the reason their product is, and
Yes.
trust me, that was the
Yes.
ideal thing, you know.
Yes.
Perfect thing.
Yes.
So why do you think that deteriorated so quickly? Management.
Money is the root of all evil.
Okay, all right.
Money is the root of all evil.
Okay.
You and I, we go in there, and I've never been to one. I've worked for them before, but you and I go there, and you drink some beer that been there for a while, and they give it to you, and you have a fun. And see, that's why we as Junkanooers have to change our mindset. Give us a party, and we in dog heaven.
all in.
Ah,
We all
ah, we win, and guess what happened? We get a party. Man, listen, I have a party at my house almost every week. I get a drink. All I need is a drink. I'm a cigar, and that's me. That's a party. You need more than that? To hear people run on about who win and who ain't win and all that, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but, I mean, let's be real. We have to improve on our art. And if I come to you and say, boy, paparazzi, 2 years ago you was nice. This year, I see, take that and let's run with it. Because one morning when young lady tell me, say, boy, I thought y'all was going to be better than this. I was hurt because I thought I was nice. I had to go back and assess my costume. And
Assess the type of ring.
yeah, and then I in our little crew, it's called a dungeon, because in every kingdom there's a dungeon. So the dungeon is the fellas who are actually working on there, and then they come up and So when we go, we always try to be our last costume. We always try, because it's about self-evaluation. I don't worry about who on Bay Street. I know if I look good, I hope the next person have enough pride to look good, to give us a good material that we could be nice on Bay Street. It's about the product. So and about self-pride. Self-pride is serious. That's why I always have the 3S. Because I don't go to work dirty. I got to go to work clean. So when I come to perform in your face and dance in your face and shout in your face, I want to make sure I fresh. So when you smell me, I fresh.
Well taken. Well, my brother, we can give you the last word, and we really appreciate this being a very educational. Any other questions for you before we leave?
Oh my, you covered about everything.
Well covered. See, it's a PR man, so the PR man covers everything.
Well,
We give you the last word.
thank you so much, Paparazzi, for inviting Sand Dollar and myself here. Like I said, Sand Dollar is a design studio. It's a art company where we produce every and anything art. You can find us on Facebook at this time at Valley of the Kings. Also, my personal Facebook page, Jamal Shea, or you could call 825-4787. We have a one-stop shop. You needed bill, paste. This for the Junkanooers now. You needed bill, paste, decorated. We have persons on hand to do. If you don't have a drawing and you need an idea and a drawing, we are available for that too.
What about the carnival banner? I need a section design.
We designed that too. We did work
If
for
I
a
need
carnival
if I need-
band
if
before.
If I need a replica of a carnival costume, y'all could do that?
Yes, however, I don't think the carnival group
Don't worry
will
about Don't worry
will
with the
do.
carnival.
So
I
it's
wanna
about
enhance the carnival
Y-
costume.
yeah,
Look,
you
do
could
that?
you could get the costume and we enhance it, yes.
Okay.
But obviously, as a business owner, you don't want to. Some people have their items copyright written.
the Bahamas.
So yeah, but it's about laws, bro. And one thing we want to do is stay above ground.
Okay.
You know,
Let's say I got a kids project, $100.
Sand Dollar.
Okay.
You need your railings too for your house, Sand Dollar.
Sound good.
You need a grill, a custom made grill. You saw the crab grill that
Yeah, I saw it. Bro. It's nice, but not functional.
yeah, but
What I'd like to get-
our client
what I'd like to get- what I'd like to get-
our client had asked for that.
What I like to get is I get a grill where I can actually pull the actual.
Oh.
I want to push it.
We have that. We just did
I want a separate section for my corn to go down load it.
we just did a grill.
That's what I want.
We did a 3-layer grill where you could do a roast, a pig, you could do cooking on top, and you could grill. So it's 3 different layers with 2 grills.
Sounds good.
So we're being innovative and creating things that we are creating memories. That's what we say. We're creating
You
memories.
guys won the grill competition for the Bahamas Golden Fire, didn't you?
I don't
Crab
know.
grill?
Yeah, it was the crab grill. I don't know if we won. Like I said, it was a client, and we produced what the client wanted, and try and make sure that our clients are satisfied. That's our most important thing, making sure the clients are satisfied and
They
creating
definitely
memories.
had the PR man does today. I can be honest. Job well done, Jamal.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate having you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
That's pretty much it. It's your turn.
show over. Yeah,
Unless you got a question.
Come on, like I say, he covered all the bases, man. You know what I mean? I'd really like one of Bats or Mark with them, you know, to come too with you, man. You know, cause you need that. We can invite them probably on another show. You know, cause we need to get some more business on the show, man.
You know our motto. You don't invite someone twice.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing you bring them.
So they gotta come back.
But like I said, Marco was supposed to come.
Yeah.
But he's messaging me. He's in my group. You know, but yeah, man, always. And you know, if you see us on Bay Street or you see them somewhere, stop and ask them a question, and I'm sure they will ask. Record it, and then you could always play it back too.
Well, we can get them in studio. You know.
I'm sure we can get them.
Yeah, man. But see, you gotta get this. See, these things need to be documented.
Agreed.
You know, everybody need to be documented. Cause 20, 30 years from now, ain't nobody could be able to tell your story.
Yes, agreed.
You see what I mean?
Agreed.
You could go back at a film and say, but you see, Boss and Marco right there talking, that's what they're saying at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't nobody else could say what they can say. Everybody got to tell your own story.
And their story is different than mine.
See my point.
Because
exactly.
their feelings are different than mine. I'm the most vocal one.
And we appreciate you.
I'm the most vocal one.
Okay.
They say I'm the yin and the yang.
Yeah, man. But and that's what the show is all about. We want everybody's story to be told. See what I say?
Oh, see, Pat's even calling in for y'all.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
Come on. So we like to thank everybody for tuning into Double Rock this week. You know what I mean? This been an exciting show today, man. We had a blast. We start off with a blast. We end with a blast. You know what I mean? Like you say, you have a party, though. We had a party.
Just so you know, Pat said not a problem. Next time, once you send the invite and you let me know, he'll be there.
Carrying on.
All
See
right.
that? One shot. We just saw confirm.
Yes.
Thank God, book and confirm.
But you got to book through the PR person.
Ain't no problem with that.
I know the reason for your
Yeah.
That's not a problem with that, you know. That's not a problem. That's what I said. Like I said, yeah, man, we like to thank all y'all for tuning in to Double Rock this week. It's been a blast today, boy. We had a real rock session today.
But y'all gotta be special, boy. I missed my game.
Y'all getting beat dead.
Yeah, we get beat bad. I'm looking at the score now.
Yeah, so we like to thank y'all up on Friends and Us. Where every day Friday except Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. They're the days we close. And you know what I mean? Ain't much place like you have a spot with the air conditioning, bombing and everything. You get rolled out with the PPL bill nowadays, my boy. They tell you shoot outside. You know what I mean? So we like to thank them for allowing us to use the space. We also thank we're sponsored by Party Crashers. Get your best mixed specialty drinks for any party, any wedding, any event you have, man. We can get it. You have a team party and want a team colored drink, we can line it up. You can find Party Crashers on Facebook at Party Crashers 242, Instagram at Crashers 242. You know what I mean? We're also sponsored by Netty Lip Productions. That's who brothers live, who always bring the live Double Rock show. He bring any live Junkanoo on the road. Netty Lip Productions. You need drone shots, drone photo. You need short commercials, little clips. You need interviews. You need whatever you need.
Businesses.
You know what I mean? Netty Lip Productions. Get yourself lined up. Be on Facebook, Netty Lip Productions. We're also sponsored by Junkanoo, the newest version of Junkanoo Paparazzi. You go to Junkanoo and get your Junkanoo pictures, carnival pictures, festival pictures. Whatever pictures you want, you can get from Junkanoo. What else? We also, today we're proudly sponsored by $7 Design Studio.
Who told you?
Give us a number, bro. 825-4787.
They say you can get the best in artwork, either Junkanoo costume, carnival costume, artwork, you need some railings, stars, whatever you need.
Yep.
Some artwork. If you want your whole house paint with some solid artwork, they probably can do that too.
Oh, yes.
So, hit up $7 Design Studio. Get yourself lined up. You don't come to Bay Street looking picky this year, they can get you looking right. Come to Bay Street, look like you get put on the fire, they can line you up, but you just gotta go in time. Like the man say, ain't putting the studio under pressure for nobody. Come in advance.
That's right. Sound like a
You know
plan
what I
to
mean?
me. And don't forget the Masquerades event.
Choppy, what do you call it? Choppy
Choppy
cool,
cool, yeah.
fat.
Boy, she's looking a little cloudy cool
That's
today.
the best time to have
Oh, foam and
parties,
water,
man.
hey.
You know that, man.
Yeah,
Come
fat,
on.
hey.
Come on.
Trouble.
Only us in the Bahamas is one stand up. No. I don't do carnival in the Bahamas. I just Junkanoo, eh?
Yeah. So you can go down.
Respect that. So don't forget Tropic Cool.
Yeah, you can go down there by they say you got a park by Anatol.
You catch the shuttle. Right.
The bus will shuttle you to the
So it's well
party
organized, well organized.
Secret
You know?
locations.
Yeah, so participate and help out. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. So, on behalf of myself, aka Top Class, my producer, Mr. Silence,
Paparazzi.
And I'm China.
and we have just brought you another special edition of W Rock. We'll see you next week for another rock off session. We out here. Boom.